Hidden in plain sight is a coin that could turn an ordinary day into a life-changing moment. A 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, seemingly ordinary, but worth as much as $1.7 million. Yes, one coin. One tiny piece of metal that could make you a millionaire overnight. The story begins in 1964, a year that marked change and uncertainty in the United States. The Civil Rights Act was on the horizon, and the nation was shifting in ways no one could have predicted. Meanwhile, in the quiet corners of American homes, pennies were being minted, thousands every day. Most were destined for wallets, jars, and cash registers, fading into anonymity. But among them, a handful were different. Mistakes, anomalies, the kind of errors collectors dream about. These are the coins that carry stories and unimaginable value. Imagine a coin leaving the mint, perfectly normal to anyone else, but flawed in a way that would make history. A 1964 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. No D, no S, just a blank space where it should be. At the time, it was an oversight, a simple production quirk. But today, collectors see it differently. They see a million-dollar treasure. Thousands of these pennies were minted, but only a select few survived decades of circulation without being noticed. And every single one of those pennies now has the power to make ordinary people into millionaires. Some were lost in drawers, others in piggy banks, some still buried in coin rolls and bank vaults. That's the secret. The coin you might be holding right now could be the one everyone else has been hunting for. So, how do you spot it? First, take the penny in your hand and look at the front. Lincoln's profile is the same as any other penny, but look closely below the date. Normally, there's a mint mark, a small D for Denver, S for San Francisco. On this coin, there's nothing, a blank space. That empty spot is the difference between a regular penny and a coin worth potentially over $1 million. Next, inspect the date itself. It must read 1964. That year is key because the no mint mark error was a rare occurrence in that specific batch of coins. Any other year, and you're holding a regular penny. But 1964? That's when history and rarity collide. Now, here's where the suspense really builds. Imagine sifting through coins in a dusty drawer, maybe even a box of pennies you forgot you had, when suddenly your eye catches something odd. No mint mark. The date 1964. Your heart skips. Could it really be? This is the moment collectors dream about, the moment every man who has ever looked at spare change has secretly hoped for. This is a coin that could change your life. The backstory of these pennies is as mysterious as it is fascinating. Mint employees rarely talk about errors. Records were incomplete, mistakes were uncelebrated, and many coins were simply destroyed. But a few survived. Hidden, overlooked, waiting. And now, after decades, the value has exploded. Collectors and investors are paying huge sums, some up to $1.7 million, for just one coin. Not a collection, not a stack, just a single, tiny penny. Think about the emotional weight of that. One coin, made of copper, forgotten for decades, could provide financial freedom for life. It's almost poetic, a symbol of patience, luck, and hidden opportunity. Every coin in your pocket, every penny jar in your house, could hold a similar secret. You don't know until you look. Let's pause for a moment and reset your attention. Picture yourself in a quiet room, a coffee cup steaming beside you, and a handful of coins in your palm. You pick up one. It glints in the light. Something feels off. No mint mark. 1964, your heart pounds. This isn't just money. This is history. This is the thrill of discovery. Experts recommend careful inspection, often with a magnifying glass. The coin should have no mint mark, a clear 1964 date, and typical where consistent with a coin of its age. Avoid cleaning it. Collectors want the authentic, untouched patina. Every scratch, every imperfection tells part of the story, part of the journey that makes this coin priceless. Even if a coin looks ordinary at first, it might still hold incredible value. Some coins with slight irregularities, faint mint marks, die errors, or planchet issues have sold for staggering sums. The 1964 no mint mark penny is one of the rarest examples. It's the kind of coin that doesn't just sit in a collection. It dominates headlines, sparks auctions, and changes lives. Reset again, and imagine the excitement building. You've checked the date, inspected the mint mark, studied the coin under magnification. And then it hits you. This could be it. One coin, one moment, one decision. Do you sell it immediately? Do you hold on to it as a family heirloom? Either way, the knowledge that a coin worth $1 million could be in your hand is a rush unlike anything else. Collectors talk about these coins in hushed tones, almost like sharing a secret too powerful to broadcast. And yet, here it is, revealed to you, hidden in the ordinary, waiting for someone to notice. A coin that is small in size but enormous in significance. A coin that is, in every sense, a reminder that treasure often hides in plain sight. Before we conclude, let's summarize how to identify this coin clearly. Check the front for Lincoln's profile. Look at the date, 1964, and examine the spot where a mint mark should be. No D, no S, just a blank space. That is the signal of rarity, the doorway to $1 million discovery. Remember, patience, careful inspection, and a keen eye are your allies. This is the kind of coin that changes everything. Ordinary people become millionaires overnight. Lives are transformed. Families are set up for generations. And it all begins with noticing something that everyone else overlooks. A coin that could have been tossed aside, lost forever, now holds the power to redefine your future. So, look around your house. Check your drawers, your old coin rolls, even the spare change in your car. That coin could be closer than you think. History, mystery, and fortune are wrapped into a single, unassuming penny. You think you know every coin in your change? What if I told you that tucked away among ordinary pennies, there's one that could change your life forever? A 1956 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, worth an astonishing $1.8 million. Right now, somewhere in America, someone is holding a coin that could make them a millionaire without ever leaving their home. And the craziest part? Most people will never know it's in their hands. The story of this penny begins decades ago, in a quiet moment of history. The year was 1956, a time of rock and roll, classic cars, and baby boomers filling the streets. The United States was thriving, but hidden among the coins minted that year was a small, almost invisible variation. A detail so subtle that even seasoned collectors can overlook it. A detail that now makes this coin a treasure beyond imagination. Imagine the journey this penny has taken. It might have sat in a jar on a kitchen counter for 50 years, quietly watching generations pass, unnoticed. Perhaps it changed hands at a grocery store, jingling in someone's pocket, or slipped into a forgotten drawer with old receipts. And today, it could be sitting right where you least expect it. Your own coin collection, your old wallet, or a dusty change bowl. What makes this coin extraordinary isn't just its age or the fact that it's a wheat penny. It's the absence of a mint mark. That tiny detail tells a story of rarity. In 1956, pennies were minted in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most coins carry a small mark to indicate their origin, a tiny D or S, but the no mint mark penny? It's from Philadelphia, struck with a subtle imperfection in limited numbers, making it incredibly rare today. Finding one isn't just luck. You have to know exactly what to look for. First, examine the date carefully. The numbers must be crisp, clear, and centered. Look at the wheat stalks on the reverse side. They should be sharp, detailed, and well-defined. Next, inspect the surface. $1 million coins like this one often have a natural patina, a slight reddish-brown color that tells of decades spent in pockets or drawers. Any polishing, scratches, or corrosion can reduce its value dramatically. But even with all this knowledge, the suspense never leaves you. Each penny you pick up carries the thrill of possibility. Could this one, right now, be the 1956 no mint mark penny that could make you a millionaire? You feel the weight in your hand, study the details, and hold your breath. Every penny is an adventure. Every glance a mystery waiting to be solved. Collectors will tell you that the true value isn't just in the coin, it's in the story it carries. Imagine the pride of owning a piece of history that has survived wars, economic shifts, and generations of hands. And now, that story can be yours. A tangible connection to a moment frozen in time, holding a fortune beyond imagination. The thrill grows as you consider how easy it is for a coin like this to be overlooked. A coin that could buy you a home, fund a dream, or set your family up for life. Hidden in plain sight, waiting for someone to recognize its potential. Some people have found them in jars of spare change, on old coin rolls bought from the bank, or tucked away in collections passed down by grandparents. Each discovery is a moment of pure disbelief and elation. You don't need to travel far or search exotic markets. The 1956 no-mint mark penny could be anywhere in the United States. It could be lying on your desk, hidden in a forgotten pocket, or even sitting in your coin album, overlooked because it looks like every other penny in the pile. That's the beauty and terror of rarity. The most valuable treasures often look the most ordinary. Now, let's get technical for a moment, because this knowledge could be worth millions. Look closely at the details of Lincoln's face. His cheekbones, jawline, and the fine lines in his hair. These small details can tell you if the coin is genuine and has the right grading potential. The wheat stalks on the back should stand out, not flattened from circulation. Even slight imperfections in these features can multiply the coin's value exponentially. And here's where it gets emotional. Imagine holding this penny, knowing it survived decades of obscurity and is now in your hands. That feeling, the connection to history, to luck, and to fortune, is incomparable. Most people never experience it. Most people will never find a coin worth $1 million hiding in their own home. But you have the chance. You could be the next person to discover this hidden treasure. Every few minutes, as you sift through coins, you feel your heart race. Could this one be the rare 1956 penny with no mint mark? The answer could be yes. You just need to know the signs, trust your instincts, and pay attention to details that others ignore. Million-dollar discoveries are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for the observant eye to notice them. The excitement doesn't stop there. Imagine telling your story to friends, family, or collectors. The disbelief in their eyes, the thrill of knowing that you found something extraordinary among the ordinary. It's a story of patience, attention, and a little bit of luck. But most importantly, it's a story of reward. A life-changing reward for those who see what others overlook. So, every time you look at a jar of pennies or dig through your old change, remember the 1956 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. Examine the date, study the wheat stalks, notice the patina, and feel the history in your hands. This isn't just a coin. It's a potential life-changing treasure. Every detail matters, and every glance could reveal the fortune hidden in plain sight. History has a way of hiding miracles in the most mundane places. A penny in your drawer today could have been part of someone's pocket in 1956. It could have survived decades untouched, waiting for the right person, maybe even you, to recognize its incredible value. Time is passing. Every moment, coins are being overlooked, forgotten, or lost. But if you know what to look for, you could change everything. You could hold history in your hand and discover a coin worth more than you ever imagined. This is the thrill, the suspense, and the promise of discovery that makes coin collecting more than a hobby. It's a journey, a hunt, and sometimes it's the moment your life changes forever. Have you ever held something so ordinary, so small, that it hid a secret worth over $1 million? You might think of treasures as gold bars, rare jewelry, or hidden safes. But today, I'm talking about a penny. Not just any penny. A 2006 D. Lincoln penny that could turn a casual collector into a millionaire overnight. It's almost unbelievable, isn't it? A coin you might find in your pocket, your couch cushions, or even your change jar. A coin that could be worth over $1 million. And yet, millions of people pass by this very coin every day, completely unaware of its hidden power. The story begins back in 2006 at the Denver Mint. Millions of pennies rolled off the presses, each stamped perfectly with Abraham Lincoln's face, each destined for wallets and coin jars across America. But a tiny, almost invisible error happened on a few coins. A mistake so rare, it could make a simple penny more valuable than most people's life savings. Collectors call it an overstrike error. Imagine a coin being struck twice, slightly off-center, creating a ghostly shadow effect that is almost impossible to replicate. It's subtle. Most people wouldn't even notice it. But for the trained eye, it's a golden opportunity. This tiny misprint, this almost forgotten fluke, is the very reason some 2006 D pennies are now commanding prices in the seven figures. That's right, $1 million for something you could hold in the palm of your hand. Now, let's talk about identifying this extraordinary penny. First, check the mint mark, the D, on the reverse side, just under the date, which shows it came from the Denver Mint. Not every 2006 D penny is valuable, of course. But here's the key. Look closely at the date and the features on Lincoln's face. On the rare error coins, the lines of the date are doubled ever so slightly, almost like an echo. The lettering can appear thicker in some areas, and shadows appear where there shouldn't be any. These subtle signs are what separate a normal penny from a life-changing one. But this isn't just about spotting a mistake. There's an emotional story behind it. Imagine the person who first found one of these pennies. Maybe they were just emptying their change jar, bored, on a quiet Sunday afternoon. They didn't expect to stumble upon something extraordinary, a coin worth $1 million. The shock, the disbelief, the sheer excitement. It's a moment most people can only dream about. And now, this exact experience could be waiting for you. Some collectors travel the country hunting for these pennies, scanning rolls of coins, examining each penny under magnification, looking for that telltale sign. Others get lucky with coins they've had for years. There's no guaranteed formula, which is part of the thrill. It's that suspense, that tension, knowing that one coin among thousands could change your life forever, every 1 or 2 minutes. Let's reset. Think about this. You could be holding a coin that's more valuable than your car, your house, or even your retirement savings. And most people would throw it in a vending machine without a second thought. That's how hidden this treasure really is. It's disguised as something ordinary, something you use every day, yet it has the power to turn an ordinary life into a story worth telling. Let's focus again on the visual details. The key is doubling in the date and letters, slight misalignment, and unusual shadows around Lincoln's profile. Sometimes, the edge of the coin may even appear thicker or uneven. The tiniest irregularity could mean the difference between a standard penny and $1 million discovery. This is precision hunting, a practice that requires patience, attention, and a bit of luck, and the story doesn't end there. Some of these pennies have surfaced in the most unexpected places, in pockets, drawers, old coin collections, even loose change handed down from grandparents. Imagine digging through a dusty box in your attic and uncovering something that instantly transforms your financial future. That's the magic of a 2006 D. Lincoln penny. Collectors who recognize the potential of these coins often document them, get them graded, and showcase them in online auctions. The excitement builds every time a new one appears. Prices have soared over the years because these coins are exceptionally rare. The thrill isn't just the money. It's being part of a community that knows how special these pennies truly are. It's easy to feel overwhelmed, thinking this is something you'd never find. But here's the truth. Every roll of pennies you examine, every drawer you open, could hold the key. It's not about luck alone, it's about awareness. Knowing what to look for, knowing the subtle signs that most people completely miss. This coin doesn't announce itself loudly. It whispers, and only the attentive, the curious, and the determined will hear it. Imagine showing your friends, or even strangers, a single penny that's worth more than most people earn in a year. Think about the pride, the astonishment, and the incredible story you'd be able to tell. This isn't just a coin. It's a symbol of discovery, persistence, and the magic hidden in plain sight. Now, let's recap. Look for the 2006 date. Check the D mint mark. Examine Lincoln's face for ghostly shadows or doubled lines. Inspect the lettering carefully for any thickness or irregularity. These are the hallmarks of a coin that could be worth $1 million. Someone, somewhere, is holding one of these coins right now, completely unaware of its true value. That could be a neighbor, a friend, or even you. And when you finally recognize it, the sense of wonder and disbelief is unlike anything else. It's that exact feeling that turns a simple coin into a treasure beyond imagination. The mystery, the drama, the possibility, it's all part of the journey. Every coin you examine, every drawer you sift through, brings you closer to a life-changing discovery. Some people spend decades searching, while others get lucky with a single lucky find. The key is knowing what to look for and never underestimating the potential of something seemingly ordinary. This isn't just a story. It's a reality that has already changed lives. $1 million discoveries have happened, and they will continue to happen. The thrill, the suspense, and the reward are all part of the experience that makes coin collecting so addictive. And now, after all this, it comes down to one simple truth. The power of discovery, the hope of $1 million find. the excitement that comes from recognizing something extraordinary hiding in plain sight. It's all here, waiting for you. This exact penny could be sitting in your drawer right now, and it's worth over $1 million. You might be holding a secret in your hand right now, a coin so rare, so powerful, it could completely change your life. Picture this, a small, unassuming 1956 Lincoln penny, resting quietly in a dusty jar of change. To the untrained eye, it's just another penny. But for the people who know, this tiny copper disc could be worth over $1 million. It all starts with a story most collectors have never heard. Back in the 1950s, the U.S. Mint was producing millions of pennies every year. But something unusual happened in 1956. A few coins received a subtle error during the minting process, an imperfection almost invisible, almost impossible to spot. And one of these pennies ended up in circulation, slipping into someone's pocket, lost for decades, until it surfaced in a moment that would stun the coin world. Imagine what it would feel like to stumble across a coin like this, tucked inside a drawer or jar, while looking for a quarter to buy coffee. 1 minute, you're counting change. The next, you hold a piece of history worth $1 million. This isn't just money. It's the kind of discovery that changes how you see the world, a reminder that treasure sometimes hides in the most ordinary places. Now, let's take a closer look at this penny. The 1956 Lincoln penny was minted in Denver, marked by that tiny D on the front of the coin. But here's where it gets fascinating. Not every 1956 penny is worth millions. You need to find specific traits. The coin's surface has a distinct luster, a certain sharpness in Lincoln's profile that sets it apart from ordinary pennies. The details in the hair and coat of Lincoln are deeper, crisper, almost alive. The strike is strong. Collectors call this a full detail strike, which means it was struck with perfect alignment and pressure that if you look closely at the back, the wheat stalks. Yes, the famous wheat ears. They are fully detailed, almost three-dimensional. Many coins from this year are worn or weakly struck. But this one, it's perfect, unbelievably rare. And when you find one in near mint condition, you're not just holding a penny. You're holding a potential $1 million ticket. But finding one isn't just about luck. There's a method, a secret that collectors use. Look for coins that are unusually shiny for their age, that have a crispness to the strike, and check the D mint mark carefully. The placement, the angle, the size, all tiny clues that experts use to separate ordinary pennies from the extraordinary. This isn't just about spotting a mistake. It's about recognizing a piece of history that slipped through time, surviving in perfect form. Think about the people who found these pennies. One collector described the moment as surreal, almost unreal. They held a coin worth millions, something that had passed through thousands of hands, unnoticed, until it landed in their palm. The feeling is overwhelming. Excitement, disbelief, gratitude. Some call it destiny. Others call it luck. But when you see that shine, that perfect detail, you know you're holding something life-changing. Here's a secret many collectors don't talk about. These pennies aren't sitting in banks or museums. Most of them are hidden in plain sight, mixed into jars, drawers, and piggy banks. You don't need to travel to a private auction to find one. The opportunity could be in your home right now. The trick is knowing what to look for and paying attention to details most people overlook. Every couple of minutes, reset your focus. Look at the penny as if you've never seen it before. The eyes, the nose, the chin of Lincoln. The precise, delicate lettering. The wheat stalks on the reverse. Every detail matters. These subtle signs are the difference between a coin worth a few cents and one worth $1 million. Collectors will tell you that the thrill isn't just in the value. It's the hunt, the discovery, the story behind each coin. The 1956 Lincoln penny carries decades of history, and owning one connects you to that past in a way few objects can. Imagine holding a coin minted the year Eisenhower was president, a coin that passed through countless hands, yet survived untouched, waiting for someone who would recognize its true worth. This coin represents more than money. It represents hope, the excitement of discovery, the reminder that ordinary moments can suddenly become extraordinary. That feeling of disbelief when you realize the penny you picked up off the counter is worth over $1 million. That's a story worth telling, a memory that lasts forever. Check every jar, every box, every drawer where pennies might be hiding. Pay attention to condition. Look for that Denver D. Examine the strike. Feel for the weight, the texture. And remember, this isn't a guaranteed $1 million payday, but for those who are observant, patient, and lucky, the reward can be life-changing. Think of it like chasing a hidden treasure. Most people will never see it. They'll pass it by every day without a second thought. But for those who notice, who pause, who study the details, that's where fortune favors the brave. The 1956 D. Lincoln penny is not just a coin. It's a story, a mystery, a prize waiting for someone who can see its true potential. History hides in plain sight. The penny in your pocket, the one in that old jar, it could be more than just spare change. It could be a connection to the past, a ticket to a life-changing moment, a treasure worth over $1 million. Imagine holding a coin in your hand that could instantly change your life. A single piece of metal, no bigger than your thumb, but with a value that most people only dream about. Today, we're talking about the 1979 No Mint Mark Lincoln penny, a coin quietly hiding in plain sight, quietly waiting to turn someone's luck into a story worth millions of dollars. You see, most pennies from 1979 are just pennies. They jingle in pockets, fill jars, and disappear under couches. But among them exists a rare anomaly, a coin that escaped the mint's notice, that slipped through the cracks, and now sits in circulation with a hidden fortune. The backstory of this penny is as mysterious as it is incredible. The Philadelphia Mint produced countless Lincoln pennies that year, but a tiny batch was created without the familiar D or S mint mark. Why? That's part of the mystery. Records from the mint are scarce, incomplete, and shrouded in secrecy. Collectors who have stumbled across one describe a mix of disbelief and exhilaration. One coin dealer, while sorting through loose change, held up a 1979 No Mint Mark penny and froze. His heart raced. That single coin wasn't just rare, it was life-altering. Within moments, he realized this tiny disc could be worth over $1 million. Over $1 million for a coin smaller than your fingernail. But how do you know if you have this treasure in your pocket, or if it's just another ordinary penny? First, look at the obverse side, the front. It features Lincoln's familiar profile. Everything looks normal. Then check the date, 1979. The crucial detail is the absence of a mint mark. No D for Denver, no S for San Francisco. It should look almost ordinary, almost like every other penny you've ever seen. But the lack of a mint mark is what sets it apart. That tiny absence carries enormous value. Every few minutes, imagine someone discovering one of these pennies. A retired school teacher finds one in her change at a coffee shop. A man cleaning out his grandfather's old desk drawers stumbles across a handful of pennies, only to notice something odd about one. Their reactions are the same: disbelief, excitement, hope, a rush of emotion that words can barely capture. This coin has that kind of power. Now, don't be fooled. The condition of the coin matters immensely. The closer it is to uncirculated, the higher its value. Look for sharp details in Lincoln's coat, crisp lettering, and clear lines in the wheat stalks on the reverse side. Anywhere diminishes its potential value. But even a circulated 1979 No Mint Mark penny can still be life-changing. Think about the people who've sold these coins. A single penny once tucked away in a drawer could fetch a buyer ready to pay over $1 million. Can you imagine holding something so small, yet so monumental in your hands? That's the thrill, the suspense, and the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about money. It's about the story, the hunt, the possibility of turning ordinary change into extraordinary fortune. Let's reset for a moment. Picture yourself emptying a jar of pennies. Your fingers graze hundreds of coins, most of them dull, some shiny, but nothing remarkable. And then, almost as if by fate, your eyes catch a familiar date. 1979, your heartbeat quickens. No mint mark. Could this be it? Could this be the coin that has the potential to turn an ordinary afternoon into a story for the ages? Now, here's a tip for serious collectors. Compare your coin to certified examples online or in reputable coin catalogs. Pay attention to the details. Lincoln's jawline, the steps of his coat, the wheat stalks behind him. Even minor differences can indicate authenticity. Don't rush. Take your time. Every great discovery demands patience and attention to detail. This coin also carries an emotional weight. Imagine the stories it's seen. A cashier hands it to a child, a pocket carries it across decades, a family passes it down without knowing its secret. And suddenly, one day, it transforms from ordinary metal to something worth $1 million. The suspense, the hidden potential, the emotional power, it's all wrapped in a single copper disc. Collectors often describe finding one as a life-defining moment. The rush, the disbelief, the realization. This could be their ticket to financial freedom, their chance to tell a story that few will ever believe. And remember, we're talking about actual million-dollar value here. Not theoretical, not exaggerated, but real, tangible fortune held in something smaller than your fingernail. But if you're searching through change, don't dismiss any penny. Handle each one carefully. Look for the date, look for the mint mark, and think about the possibilities. Every ordinary coin carries the potential to hide extraordinary value. And the 1979 no mint mark Lincoln penny is the ultimate example. The rarest finds often hide where you least expect them. They're not displayed in elegant cases, not announced in headlines. They're in your pocket, in your drawer, in old collections you haven't touched in decades. And one day, if fate smiles on you, you could be the one holding a coin worth over $1 million. So, as you sort through your pennies, as you inspect every coin carefully, remember the story, the suspense, and the potential. A single misprinted or missing mint mark can turn ordinary change into an extraordinary fortune. Don't rush, don't panic, but don't dismiss the possibility either. Every coin has a story, but only a few carry the magic to transform lives. One of these coins, overlooked by generations, waiting quietly, could be sitting in your very own collection, waiting for the moment when someone like you recognizes its true value, the thrill of discovery, the rush of life-changing potential. You won't believe this, but a single penny could change your life forever. I'm not exaggerating. I'm talking about a 2002 D. Lincoln penny that has the potential to make someone a millionaire almost overnight. Imagine holding a piece of history in your hand that quietly sits in your pocket, your drawer, or a jar on the counter, and suddenly realizing it's worth over $1 million. The story begins quietly, with a normal penny, minted in Denver in 2002. For most people, it's just another coin, part of the endless stream of pennies that pass through your hands every day. But hidden in plain sight, there's something unusual, something rare, something that separates this coin from every other penny minted that year. Collectors stumbled upon this secret years ago, and the reaction was disbelief. How could a penny, barely a centimeter wide, ever reach a value of $1.3 million? The answer lies in its mysterious backstory and a rare production error that only a handful of coins ever experienced. Some say these pennies were struck with a double die, leaving subtle but unmistakable marks on the coin. Others whisper about a rare off-center strike, barely noticeable unless you're looking closely. These small details are what make this penny extraordinary, and the difference between a worthless coin and a million-dollar treasure. Let me take you back to the moment this penny was first discovered. A collector, like you or me, was casually sorting through loose change, not expecting anything remarkable. Then he noticed it, the faint but unmistakable doubling of Lincoln's profile and the date. His heart raced. Could it really be what he thought? That day, he realized that ordinary pennies hiding in plain sight could carry unimaginable value. The emotional impact is hard to describe. It's that mixture of disbelief, excitement, and hope that anyone could relate to. A reminder that treasures often appear when you least expect them. Now, I need you to focus because I'm about to tell you exactly how to identify this coin. First, check the date. It must be 2002, and it must carry the D mint mark from Denver. Next, look closely at Lincoln's profile, especially the lines on his cheek and jaw. Do you notice any doubling? Almost as if a second impression tried to imprint itself slightly off the first? Then, examine the lettering. Look at the words Liberty and In God We Trust. If they appear thicker or slightly misaligned compared to a regular penny, you may have found something remarkable. Finally, check the coin's rim. Off-center striking is extremely rare, and even a small shift can transform this ordinary coin into a million-dollar discovery. You might be thinking this sounds too good to be true. A penny? Worth millions? And yet, people are finding these coins in jars, drawers, and coin rolls they've had for decades. Ordinary Americans, just like you, have stumbled onto wealth hiding in plain sight. Imagine opening a dusty tin on a Saturday afternoon and realizing that your life could change forever in a single moment. That's the power of this coin and why collectors are obsessed. Here's where the story gets even more fascinating. Despite its rarity, the coin isn't locked away in a vault or a museum. It's out there, circulating quietly, waiting for someone with the right eye to recognize its value. It's not about luck alone, though luck plays a role. It's about knowledge, attention to detail, and the willingness to believe that ordinary objects can hold extraordinary value. Think about the emotions of the person who discovered their 2002 penny. There's shock, yes, but there's also a deep connection to history. Holding a coin that could make someone $1 million feels like holding a secret from the past, something the mint never intended to survive, something that escaped the hands of time. There's pride, there's awe, and above all, there's the life-changing realization that sometimes the smallest objects carry the greatest rewards. Now let's reset your focus for a moment. Think about your own coin collection. Maybe it's a jar of pennies, a shoebox of loose change, or a small wooden box you haven't opened in years. Could one of these pennies be the one? Could it be the coin that has the power to transform your financial life forever? Every detail matters. The mint mark, the year, the subtle imperfections, because these are the clues that reveal the hidden value. Collectors know that the market for these coins is intense. Serious buyers are willing to pay millions for a verified 2002 penny. And yet, many remain undiscovered, hiding in plain sight. That means your ordinary coin could suddenly become the most extraordinary coin you've ever held. The feeling of knowing that you're in possession of something potentially worth over $1 million is indescribable, a mix of wonder, disbelief, and excitement that lingers long after the coin is back in its protective sleeve. Identifying the coin isn't difficult if you know what to look for. Examine Lincoln's cheek and jaw for doubling. Inspect the date and the lettering for anomalies, and carefully check the rim for off-center striking. Even minor variations can be significant. Once verified by a professional, this coin has the potential to enter the rarest echelons of coin collecting. And just imagine the emotional impact when the value is confirmed. It's more than money. It's history, it's mystery, and it's the thrill of discovery all rolled into a single tiny coin. For those who have experienced it firsthand, finding a 2002 Lincoln penny with these characteristics is life-altering. Ordinary people become millionaires overnight. Entire families have celebrated quietly at kitchen tables, realizing that a simple hobby, a casual glance, or a careful inspection has turned into unimaginable fortune. It's not just wealth. It's a story, a connection to history, and a personal triumph. This coin could literally be hiding in your pocket change. It could be tucked away in a coin jar or lying at the bottom of a drawer. The opportunity to uncover it is real, waiting, and thrilling. Every coin you inspect brings you closer to that moment when history and luck collide, when a penny becomes $1 million treasure in the blink of an eye. Remember, the key is attention to detail. Examine every coin carefully, look for the mint mark, scrutinize Lincoln's features, and never underestimate the value of what seems ordinary. Because sometimes, ordinary is the perfect disguise for the extraordinary. You won't believe this, but there's a single penny that could change your life forever. A penny, sitting quietly in your pocket change, overlooked, ignored. And yet, if you find the right one, it's worth over $1 million. I'm talking about the 2013 Lincoln penny, but not just any 2013 penny. The no mint mark variety, a coin so rare that collectors have been hunting it like buried treasure. Imagine holding a coin that, in the blink of an eye, could turn you into a millionaire. One moment, it's just a penny in your hand. The next, it could be a life-changing piece of history. But how does something so tiny hold so much power? Let's go back to where it all began. The story starts at the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia. In 2013, most Lincoln pennies carried a tiny D or P mark to indicate which mint produced them. But a few slipped through without a mint mark. A mistake? Or a stroke of fate? These unmarked pennies were never meant to exist. And that's exactly what makes them so valuable. Fewer than a handful are known to exist. One misprinted penny, hidden among billions, can now fetch over $1 million. You might be thinking, a penny worth $1 million? That's impossible. And yet, it's true. The first time collectors spotted one, It sent shockwaves through the coin world. People literally dropped what they were doing to hunt through jars, drawers, and even couches. $1 million coins aren't just legends. They're real, and this one proves it. That here's the kicker. You don't have to be a professional numismatist to find it. What you do need is knowledge. First, look at the obverse, the front of the coin. Most 2013 pennies have a D for Denver or a P for Philadelphia. If your penny has neither, your heart should start racing. That's the first clue. But don't stop there. Check the date carefully. The numbers should be sharp, clean, and perfectly aligned. Any distortion could mean it's a regular penny, not the rare no mint mark variety. Now, let's talk about the back. The Lincoln Memorial design looks familiar, but on this coin, the tiny details matter more than ever. The lines in the monument, the steps, even the wording at the top. These subtle features can confirm authenticity. $1 million coins aren't flashy. They hide in plain sight, waiting for someone patient, someone observant, to recognize their true worth. And there's a deeper reason this coin excites collectors. It's not just money. It's history, rarity, and the thrill of discovery. When a 2013 no mint mark penny surfaces, it's more than a coin. It's a story, a moment frozen in metal, a tiny piece of the American dream. You can almost feel the energy of the mint, the hum of machinery, the quiet mistakes that became priceless. That I've seen people cry when they realize what they're holding. Imagine finding a jar of pennies in your attic and suddenly realizing that one of them could buy a house, pay off debt, or fund your lifelong dreams. That's not exaggeration. Collectors have confirmed sales of over $1 million for just one coin like this. And yet, most people will never know what they're missing. Now, how can you be sure you have the real deal? Start by checking circulation. The no mint mark pennies are rare and almost always come from rolls that were never fully circulated. Look for wear patterns. Too much wear could indicate a common penny, not the rare 2013 no mint mark variety. And always compare with verified examples online or through trusted coin dealers. Even the tiniest scratch, the faintest misalignment, can mean the difference between a regular penny and $1 million treasure. Every 2 minutes, I want you to reset your attention because this is the part that gets thrilling. Imagine holding the penny and seeing it through a magnifying glass. Every line, every letter, every subtle detail starts to reveal a secret story. The coin's beauty is not just in its shine. It's in its rarity, in its mistake, in its journey from the mint to your hand. And for one lucky person, it could mean freedom, security, and a story they'll tell forever. Collectors are obsessed. Auctions have seen bidding wars erupt over these pennies. One coin can spark offers from every corner of the country. A no mint mark 2013 Lincoln penny isn't just a coin. It's proof that the tiniest things in life can hold the greatest surprises. People dream of finding it, talk about it, and hope for it like a lottery ticket with history stamped on it. The emotional part? That's the real thrill. Holding a coin that could be worth over $1 million makes your heart race. It's not just about the money. It's about the idea that something so small could be so life-changing. It's hope in your pocket. Every penny in your jar suddenly becomes a story waiting to be discovered. And now, the moment everyone's waiting for. How do you identify it yourself? Look for a 2013 date. Look for the absence of a mint mark. Examine the coin under bright light. Focus on every detail. Compare it to known examples. And never, ever assume a coin is worthless just because it looks ordinary. That ordinary coin could be extraordinary in ways you never imagined. Some collectors have spent years searching, and some have stumbled upon it by accident. That's the magic. That's why millions are spent, and why lives can change overnight. The 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny isn't just a collectible. It's proof that incredible luck, history, and diligence can collide in the most surprising way. Think about it. In your pocket change, in a jar, in your desk drawer, could be a coin that changes everything. A coin that represents more than money. It represents dreams realized, obstacles overcome, and a story no one will ever forget. The thrill is real, the history is real, and the potential is life-changing. This isn't a fantasy. This is happening today, right now, in homes across the country. People are discovering coins that make them millionaires. And the 2013 no mint mark Lincoln penny is at the heart of it all. Check your coins. Examine every penny. You might feel nothing at first, but then, That split second when you realize what you're holding. Your heart will skip a beat, your hands will tremble, and the world will suddenly feel full of possibilities. One coin, one mistake at the mint, one tiny penny could make all the difference. Every collector knows that the thrill of the hunt is unmatched. And for this penny, it's not just a hunt, it's a potential transformation. Your ordinary coin collection could suddenly be extraordinary. The dreams you've kept in your heart could suddenly become real. All it takes is patience, knowledge, and a little luck. Remember, this coin is hidden in plain sight. It's ordinary to the untrained eye, but extraordinary to those who know what to look for. It's proof that treasures are often closer than we think. A forgotten penny in your jar could be the key to unlocking $1 million discovery. Examine your 2013 pennies. Study them carefully. Look for that missing mint mark. Compare, verify, and hold on tight. Because if you're lucky, the coin you never thought twice about could make your life forever different.